Hey everybody, and welcome back to FEZ. I am the Outlier. It's been a little while since I picked this game up. I'm super excited to get back to playing FEZ. Oh yeah, I forgot it does that. One, two, I love the little faces that they have all over the place. They're like Mayan temple effigies, which is really cool. And three, before we get started, I want to give everybody an update. I was wrestling back and forth, and I just decided that for right now, what I'm going to do is my videos that go up on the weekends, the longer videos, the ones that you can sit back and just kind of relax with me, I'm going to try and record in the highest quality I can. Since a lot of them are on the PlayStation 4, a lot of them are 720 or higher. But if I can get them all in 1080, then that's what you're going to get. 1080p. Hopefully this is 60 frames per second. Weekend videos. So I look forward to continuing. To bring you that quality on the weekends. And now, for what I had promised, I was going to talk about before, which is Mobius loops and Klein bottles. Yeah, that didn't happen. Since it was how I got introduced to Mobius loops and Klein bottles was through Game Grumps, ironically. He dies. Was through Game Grumps. Ironically, I was watching an episode and Aaron begun to tell Dan about what Mobius loops and Klein bottles was. So, what they are, which is nice. So it's something that I find absolutely interesting. So let me start from the beginning. What a Mobius loop is, and this is something that you can do at home. It's absolutely cool. Thank you. Whoa. Check this place out. Feels pretty important, eh? Let's have a look around, shall we? Oh, no way. It's another door. I told you there would be lots of doors. This one requires 4 cubes. This one 8. This one 16. This place, it's like some kind of important door place. Oh, I don't know. That's why you're here. Now go find them cubes. Okay. So, starting at the beginning, oh yeah, I see what I gotta do. No, I only have 2 cubes. Get away from me. What a Mobius loop is a Mobius loop is a one-sided. Oh, and one more thing. If you press triangle, you'll bring up the inventory. The inventory keeps track of things you find. Okay, now I'm done. I swear. Of course, I did that before. It's a one-sided object, believe it or not. Is there anything else I can get to before I just jump in the store? No? Okay. So how you make a Mobius loop is you take a strip of paper, right? And like what you do, you take a piece of paper and you rip it lengthwise. So you just rip it in a straight line down, or you cut it. And you mark one side, right? So like put a line up one side, or put some notches up one side. Oh, no, get up there. And then you take it and you twist it once. So you take the edges and you give it a 180 degree twist. And then you connect those two edges in a circle. And that is your Mobius loop. And what the principle of the Mobius loop is, it's a one-sided object. So, Gomez, watch out. Black holes. Black holes are back. Without the hexahedron, the world is growing unstable. Space can only be folded so many times before it rips. Oh. Well, I didn't know I was folding space. That might have been some decent information to know before we went on this adventure. So yeah. So you take it and you fold it and shoot. It's a principle of physics. I forget exactly which principle of physics it is, but it's like the principle that states that you can... Are they moving? That's pertinent information. And you can only... Without touching the edge of the piece of paper that you just ripped and folded, an ant can travel around the entire object, whether you're traveling around the center or whether it's going back and forth within it. An ant can travel around the entire object and touch both sides of the strip without touching an edge. And that's something that I think is phenomenally cool, and it's true. So you'll go around the outside of the ring and you'll go around the inside of the ring without having to change really anything about the path that you're going down. And that's just awesome. That is just cool beyond cool to me that, you know, we can take that object and make it a reality here in our dimension. But Mobius loops are something that is realizable. It's like a two-dimensional object that can be realized in three-dimensional space, which is a given. The really cool one are the Klein bottles. And what Klein bottles are is you have your principle of... Oh yeah, I forgot I had a key. You have your principle of the... Oh ho! Yes, give me all the stuff. Let me jump... Let me jump on you. You have your principles... oh, there we go. No, that is not a here we go moment. You have your principles of the Klein bottle and the Mobius loop, right? There we go. And how am I going to get up there? I mean, it looks the closest here. Ah, there we go. And what you do is you take the edges of the Mobius loop and you close them off. So everything kind of, you make all of the edges touch, if that makes any sense. So it's just like you're making the Mobius loop into a cylinder. And what happens is, wait, where's the treasure chest? Is this the opening? No, I gotta come at it from this angle. Yeah, I gotta press square. And what it does, is that a treasure map? Can I? Yeah, it's a treasure map. I have no idea what that means. Wait a minute. Oh, it's in an area that looks like this. The treasure is there. Don't know what that is. In an area that looks like this, the treasure is there. Okay. I'll take that. So, whoa. How did I get here? Oh. I'm so confused. Oh. Well, there's one up there. So your Mobius loop will, your Mobius loop connects its outer edges, right? Wait a minute. Yeah, your Mobius loop connects its outer edges, and what you would think would form a cylinder can't, because all the edges are already touching. So what it has to do is it has to, since yes, I know, thank you. Since oh, all right. Geronimo. Okay, I did it. Cool. Where am I going? I am just going to all new places and hoping that I do this right. Okay. Oh, sweet. I did it. Oh, that's where the door is. Ah, I gotcha. Okay. You clever sly dog, you. Okay. There we go. I don't know what that did, but it did something. Okay, so now I'm here. Can I climb these pipes? In the middle of the existential discussion network, can I climb these? No. Okay. I can't climb the pipes. You'll have to forgive me if it's taking me a little while to figure this whole thing out. Okay. Okay. Were you going to say something? This is a pivot. Push square on either handle to spin the pivot one way or another. Where's the... Oh. Oh, I get it. So how am I supposed to get back up? I mean, thank you, this is a pivot man. I truly appreciate your wisdom. But, where do we go from here, Chief? Oh. Oh. No. No. Climb up. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Figuring it out, figuring it out. Okay. So, if you've never seen a Klein bottle, it's just a Mobius loop with its edges expanded, which is completely cool. Will you? And, oh, I see what's going on now. Okay, yep. Haha! There we go. And it twists like it normally does, except the bottom fans out, because now, instead of a two-edged, one-sided object, instead of creating a 2- or 3-dimensional Two edge, one side. Okay, then I'm back here. You're creating a fourth dimensional object. You're creating a fourth dimensional, no edge, one-sided object, which is boggling to the mind, but I'll explain. If I can just... Oh no. Oh no. I can't... Oh. The pivot. How could I be so stupid? That's so cool how that works. By closing it off, it still retains the same principle of, one, it's got one side. But now it has no edges. So wherever you traverse on it, you'll always be touching the same side, whether you're quote unquote inside it or outside it. Since it's not a closed off object, the Klein bottle doesn't have, technically per se, doesn't have an inside or an outside, since everything is the same. Now here's the cool part. With the Mobius loop, you gave it 180. Okay. That was just a loading screen. Alright. Wow. Alright, now this is cool. This is immensely cool. Wow. Wait. Are those platforms turning? And yes, they are. Okay, and I'm here. So... Oh, now we're into the games. Oh, balls. So, gotta watch out for those. Okay. Because they will flip my world on its head. Alright, well, might as well do this since I'm here. The cool part is the Klein bottle is got another cube. Is a fourth dimensional object that we're trying to realize, or mathematically, that we can acknowledge exists in the third dimension. So, and this is all getting back to dimensions and perspectives. Like I'm hello. Okay. So you're a thing that's over there. So what do we have? Oh, I died. Oh no, I didn't. Oh, there's a door down there. I want to go in the door. So what that means is, as the Klein bottle closes its edges, there is no what, how, and why. I don't want to be over here just yet. Oh, okay. What it does is it closes its edges, but there is no portion of it that technically gets closed off from the rest. Like, for instance, being three-dimensional creatures. Oh, God. It's horrifying. We imagine that, yes, there are solid walls in front of us, you know, in that if you have something that intersects with something else, then yes, it gets, there is a line that gets placed through that object, because that's a solid wall that we can perceive, which makes sense, but not so with the, am I supposed to climb this neon sign that can burn me? No? Okay. Oh yes, there's a door. Should have figured that there was a door. With the Klein bottle, because it's closing and twisting and fanning out, you have the Klein bottle with the fatter bottom, or fatter portion at the bottom with the arching neck that loops into that portion that fans out and connects with the bottom, forming something that, oh hey, that is nifty. Did I miss anything down here? I'm not missing anything on the other levels. Because that would have been easier. And it's cool to see this shape. It looks like it's just going up, but it's not. Did I do the good thing? Did I do it? No. Whoa, I died. Because I didn't time my jump properly. Oh, okay. While I am riding this thing up. So the Klein bottle, in order not to have that intersecting part, which physically and mathematically can exist, it would have to raise in another plane. It would have to raise in another dimension that we can't perceive. And this is the gist of what I was getting to before when I was talking about two-dimensional creatures finding out that they live in a three-dimensional world, which is why their denial of a cube is so meaningful in this game. Because the Klein bottle has to raise through a fourth dimension or another plane or another axis that we can't perceive. Okay, I see what I have to do. In order to continue. Oh God, he didn't turn while I was there. Nah, come back down, thank you. In order to exist. Which means that here's where it gets deep. As three-dimensional creatures, well, usually the rule of thumb is you can only perceive things kind of like in kind of like a dimension down. So one-dimensional creatures can't really perceive that much. Two-dimensional creatures usually can only perceive things in the first dimension. Three-dimensional creatures can usually only perceive things in the second dimension, and fourth-dimensional creatures can perceive things in the third dimension. That's what I should have did. So what I was saying here is the dimensions function on multiple axes the further up that you go. So a one-dimensional creature, or the first dimension only has one axis that it can go off of, which is like either left and right or up and down. There's not much to it. The second dimension has two axes that it can function within, which is left and right and up and down, which is like the thing that you see in most like 2D games, 2D side-scrolling games, is employing that principle. The third dimension can function in three axes. You have left, right, up and down, and then you also have forward and back. So let's say first dimension, it only has the x-axis. The second dimension, it only has the y-axis. Well, the third dimension has a z-axis. And if you look at it like you're looking at a piece of paper, the z-axis is the axis that is coming up off the paper, straight perpendicular up off the paper from the first two axes, from the center of the first two axes. So that's kind of the world we live/function in. Is the one that has that room to move within those parameters, which is incredibly... Oh, okay, yeah. So, if I press... Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I just gotta come down and do this one. Come on. Come on. And now, by putting them together like that, I can do this. Aha! Yes. The second dimensional creature can only perceive things in the first dimension. So it should only be able to see things, even though it can move left and right and up and down. It can only see things in the first dimension. So these people, theoretically, they shouldn't be able to perceive what each other looks like because they can't move on an axis. They can't move on an axis that's different from one another. Because it'd be different if, like, since they're two-dimensional creatures and they acknowledge that they were two-dimensional creatures, they should only be able to see each other as lines and spaces unless... Wait, he's going to say something. Check this out. Nuts and bolts are used to travel vertically. Hold onto the handle with square and rotate with R2 and L2 to go up or down. Okay. Oh, that's too cool. They should only be able to see lines and spaces unless, you know, like somebody had a piece of paper and they physically took one of them and moved on a different axis, so that they would be able to quote unquote like look at each other. But that's kind of the only way that they would be able to acknowledge that, you know, what anything else in their own universe was. Or that should be the only way they were able to acknowledge what anything else in their own universe was. Theoretically. Oh, there's a whole nother cube up here? Sweet. And it's the same with three-dimensional creatures, where it's like, okay, let's get this cube first. We usually can only perceive in the second dimension. Yeah, I did. You found 4 cubes. Now you can open that door we saw earlier. You know, the one just outside of your village. Yeah, I can. Oh yeah, I forgot that the camera does do that. Okay, so I guess I'm going. Are we going? Okay, there we go. So we can acknowledge that things are 3D because we can see them relative to other objects, but things are usually presented. What you have to say? Behold, a warp gate. Pick a destination and press up to warp. Okay. How do I do that? Am I picking a destination from here? Apparently not. How am I going to pick a destination? Oh ho, now I get transported to the ether of the universe. Q, buddy, this doesn't make sense. So I'm back here now? Okay, so I'm back here now, apparently. Oh, well, I had to come back here, though. Yes, indeedy. I think. Now I'm on an island with a bell. Weird. But we can only perceive two-dimensional. We can acknowledge that things are three-dimensional because of the space that they occupy relative to other things, and we can adjust things on that other axis that lets us know that things have a defined shape about them. But our eyes usually see two-dimensionally. So everything, we can't see through objects, and everything that we perceive, there we go, is just kind of flat out before us. And so we can't see everything for the ding dong. Ring the bell by pressing the square in front of it. Whoa. Oh, that was cool. That was very cool. I like that. Yep. And now, hup, hup, hup. Hup, hup, hup. Okay, just looking around before I go in this door, because I'm going to that island back there, apparently. Okay. Maybe this is the way I'm supposed to be going. I have no idea at this point. Right now, me and my little buddy, instead of, oh, there's an inchworm. What do you look like from the front? Oh, no, you're just, okay, you're eternally crawling. So, what's this purple door down here? Can I? Yes. Entrez-vous. Yeah, what are we doing in here? Oh, it's Tetris. It's copyright infringement. Alright, so what are we doing? I wonder what this means. Well, genius, I have 4 cubes. Oh. Oh ho. Well, then let me see. Move, get off that. Uh-huh. Well, then how am I supposed to get the other ones up here? Wait, if I let it go... Huh. How am I supposed to get the other ones? Yeah, because I can move this one. How am I supposed to get the other ones? Up there. I have no idea. No earthly idea. It looks like they're supposed to be up. And I can't change the angle. Alright, I guess I just gotta get out of here. But right, third dimensional perception. We can't see the three-dimensional object. You weren't here before. You weren't here before. Oh, that's cool. We can only see things for the front surface that they present, or, you know, in the second dimension. Go through. So everything looks like it's presented on a relatively flat surface to us, which is fine. But, you know, technically we're supposed to be able to perceive things for... Check this out. It's a bomb. You can pick up and throw bombs by pressing square. But be careful. You can also drop a bomb gently by pressing down in square. Oh, the blast radius isn't that big. Okay. Yeah, so we can't see the whole of the object. Like, we should be able to perceive. Not so with it's a similar thing with fourth dimensional creatures where they can... Oh no! I died. Thank you. With fourth dimensional creatures, it's something similar where they are fourth dimensional beings are able to move in another physical direction that we as three-dimensional creatures cannot. So picture that third axis that we were talking about, right? Oh, sweet, I got another cube, but I didn't realize. So picture that third axis. You have your x-axis, your y-axis. I jumped too soon. He dies a lot. You have your x-axis, y-axis, your z-axis, and then it's hard to fathom this in my own mind, but there's a fourth axis that protrudes out from the axes that we already know, and it's like a Roman numeral axis or something, or an A and B axis, something like that, where you're able to move in a direction that you can't normally move. Because I can't say that the fourth axis is jutting out from an angle from the other axes, because it's not physically impossible, but it's already being done by the z-axis. And you can think of it like a sphere, where no, I don't want to leave yet. You think of it like a sphere that is being defined by the axes, and the edge of the sphere is touching all of the end axes points. So you'll have a finite model to go by. No. So, okay. Oh, it's kicking me out. Oh, good, because I didn't want to live without it. And so the fourth dimension is going in a different axis, and that's where the neck portion of it would have to disappear. It would have to change and disappear to be able to rise or move in another plane that we normally can't perceive, unless we were actually like unless we were actually like fourth dimensional beings. And I was told that as humans we can kind of perceive the fourth dimension if we look at our hand and then like stare at, if you put your two hands together and you stare at your fingers, or you stare at the front of your hand, eventually your eyes will adjust and you'll be able to see your backhand through your front hand. But it only registers for a split second before it's all gone. Wow, it's kind of a far distance. Alright, here we go. Is this a key? Hopefully it's going to be a key. Alright, got a key. Now, how do I get down? Oh, yeah. Which is very cool. And the fourth dimensional beings can see in the third dimension, which means that they can see objects for the whole of the object. So there is no boom. And then if you let go, yeah, and then grab on there. So there is no being blocked. They can see the TV for the front, back, through all the sides without anything obstructing the view. Which is why it's so cool that we can acknowledge that there is a fourth dimensional object that we can try and kind of like bring into the third dimension, even though we won't be able to do so with any kind of accuracy. You know, accuracy meaning that we realize the whole of the actual object, because principally we're not in the fourth dimension, so unfortunately we can't actually have the physical object as it would naturally be. We can only realize it from a third dimensional standpoint, which means yes, it has to have that line that either cuts through the arched neck of it, or the line that closes off the arched neck portion of it. So, yeah, it stinks. But hey, we as third dimensional creatures, we did pretty darn well to say, you know what, it exists, and we can say that it exists definitively. You know, so I'm proud of us. And also, that speaks volumes to our abilities as three-dimensional human beings. For instance, you know, we are creatures with the intellect high enough to realize and rationalize that there is more than that's beyond our dimensions. There's more beyond our scope of perception that we don't fully understand now, but we know it's there. You know, how many other creatures do we know possess that ability? 6 cube, oh yeah. And I just wanted to ride up and get that 6 cube. Is there anything? Yes, there's something on that island. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in this Sherwood forest like knot, and then I'll cut the video here. I apologize if I bored you. Something is preventing you from changing your perspective in this area. I bet this totem looking thing over here. Yeah, that must be it. So I'm gonna cut the video here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked it, mash that like button like there's no tomorrow, and share the video with the world. Hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the videos thus far. And if you want to talk about more like physics and mathematics stuff, because the place that I really got it explained to me, like Game Grumps did it, and I appreciated what they were doing, and it was very cool. But I went to this this YouTube page called Mathology, which had this, I believe he's German, which had this German dude who had the accent, like the very stereotypical accent, German or Austrian. I can't remember which. But he had like the accent of like, was ist das? You know, something like that that was very cool. He was very, oh, come on. He was very excited and very passionate about talking about Mobius loops and Klein bottles. And he had a whole collection of Klein bottles in his study and was doing all kind of cool things with them. So it was awesome. It was awesome. He was awesome. Oh my goodness. Yes, there's so much more. He was awesome, and I enjoyed learning about the different types of dimensional creations or the different types of dimensions and the principles of different types of dimensions from him. You know, it was all very cool and surreal. So, all right. So I am the outlier. Oh, it changed. It's changing to evening and night. So I am the outlier. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for hanging out with me through my rambling descriptions of Mobius loops and Klein bottles, even though you couldn't see them. But look them up. Look them up. And I will see you all in the next video.